the dropping boulder.
All right, let's go ahead and get started tonight. Welcome, everybody, to another round of Clayton's Classroom, and with Clayton, who is the inventor of the Natural Action Technologies Structured Water Units, and he'll be available tonight for all of your questions. If you have a question tonight, to get into the question queue, just hit *2 on your phone, and that way it'll show up on our screen as having a question, and we'll get to the questions one by one in the order that they're coming in, and we'll try to get everyone's questions answered tonight. I've got a couple questions for you, Clayton, that have come through email. Let me start with a couple of those and give people a chance to get into the queue, and we'll get started. The first question I've got here is on RO water, the concept of hungry water. So, example, with RO water leaching minerals out of the body, how do we know this is the case, and is there any documented evidence of this out there? Clayton, are you there? I think Clayton his call got dropped, so let's give him a chance to get back on. That can sometimes happen.
Sorry about that. I don't know where I fell to, what hole I fell into. There I am.
Hey, that's all right. So did you hear the question, or should I repeat it?
No, you have to. It's something about RO water.
Okay, yeah. So this person says, if I recall correctly, water needs other elements to be balanced. Oh, wait, wrong question. The concept of hungry water, example, RO water, leaching minerals out of the body, how do we know this is the case? Is there any documented evidence out there of this they're wondering about?
Well, I imagine there's all kinds of documentation. Basically, it's pretty logical, though. What is RO? What is the reason for RO? The reason for reverse osmosis is to remove all the physical properties of the water. So when you remove all the physical properties, you remove the physical properties. Now, however, it does not remove the memory of the physical properties. So, RO water contains the memory of all the things that are good for life, plus all the things that are bad for life that was in the water previously. So, when you drink that water, virtually it is considered dead water because it has no energy. And when that water would enter into your cellular level, it would be carrying with it the good, the bad, and the ugly, I guess you might say. So, but a lot of that is dependent upon, of course, what's in the water initially. So, but that's pretty much the story. Reverse osmosis water has no energy.
Okay, and if they were to want to read more about this, should they just look on the internet, or do you have any place you would direct them?
I just go into art, and I'm sure there's plenty of information about reverse osmosis. I just go in and check it. I've never really looked at myself. I do know that RO water is void of all minerals. The other perspective of this is in order for RO water to be, even if you were to add minerals to it, you'd still have to some way energize it or make those minerals, unless the mineral component that you're adding has some energetics to it, I don't know. Maybe Tim can answer this better. He's looked at RO water up one side and down the other, I'm sure.
Tim, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, when we've tested the RO waters with the GDV and also with muscle testing, they actually reverse the good function of the body in terms of physiology. I haven't really done a documented search for all the documented studies showing RO water destroying things, but there are definitely several articles by lots of doctors, and talking with engineers, they also agree to this concept. So.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you. The next emailed question is, if I recall correctly, water needs other elements to be balanced that it gets from nature. If this is correct, what are these elements and why is H2O by itself not balanced?
Well, the other components that water needs to be balanced, especially water coming up out of the ground, we always say the water coming out of the ground needs to breathe like fine wine, like a good red wine. It needs to breathe before you drink it. And that's the same with water. What it is breathing in, there's not very many people who will tell you this, but what it's breathing in is primarily what is called noble gases. Look it up. I believe there's 6 noble gases. If you look at the mineral, let's say mineral, you look at the chart or the chart of all the minerals and components, it will be the last line or the last element in each row, which is the first one is helium. Going down I don't even remember, but anyway, they're all there. Anyway, they're called noble gases. The other thing the water needs is it needs to, like I said, just rest, and it will become much more vibrant when that's the case. What was the other part of the question?
The last part of it was, why is H2O by itself not balanced?
Well, H2O is an ideal placeholder for the recognition of water. There are actually about 33 possibilities for water, as I remember. And they're the different ionic effects that water goes through as it's moving from one state to another. But water to be H2O, I wouldn't say that it's not balanced. It would be the perfect water, but it's the reason that it's not, that it doesn't stay in that state for any one length of time, is the hydrogen is moving at such a fast rate, and so virtually every component that is in the arena of the water affects the water. So I don't know what the ideal position of water would be to be balanced. It goes where it needs to go, and it really is constantly changing to be the best it can be for every situation that it's in. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Here's another email question. They just want a yes or no on this. Do carbon block filters break up large water clusters? Their guess is no, but they'd like confirmation.
No.
Okay. All right. That's all they needed on that one.
The reason is all the carbon block filter does is blocks. It is a kind of a cheaper version of reverse osmosis in a sense, but all it does is it holds back the physical the physical components that are in the water.
Like
And
the sediment.
and all these things, RO, filters, distilled water, all of these do not change the molecular structure. They don't change, nor do they change the memory in the water. The memory remains intact. The only way memory can change, and therefore clusters change, has to do with the natural hydrological cycle. When water evaporates, goes up into the atmosphere, and comes back as rain. Probably 20, 30 years ago, that would have been pure water. However, now the water is coming back through the current atmosphere, which contains an inordinate amount of carbon, for one thing, high toxicity, all the exhausts and all that stuff, and it comes back contaminated in another way. But again, RO, distilled water, and carbon or filters, all they do is remove the physical. And if you recall our previous, some of our previous calls and or information, I talk about the aquaporin channel. The aquaporin channel is a channel in the cell that receives water, and it can receive only one water molecule at a time, and that water molecule can't carry anything physical or anything electrical with it. All it can carry is energy. So again, all these devices for removing the physical do not remove the energy, let's say the memory. The memory of all those physical things that are held back by RO distillation or filters. The memory is still in the water, and it's the memory that goes into your cells. So
okay.
They can go on and on and on and on about this, but it's where it is.
So in the next question, the same person was asking, it relates to what you were just talking about, and in the physical and the electrical, that it can't carry anything physical or electrical with it. All it can carry is energy. So his next question was, can you please explain what you mean by electrical in this context?
Well, electrical would actually be it would be actually a positive, negative electrical energetic pulse, or let's say frequencies. It could be, but it would basically be an electrical charge. Now, you can feel the charge, but it can't carry the charge. So a charge would be like a battery in a sense, or all the differences in voltages that occur not only on the ground that you walk on, but from the let's say the environment that you're in. So I don't know if I can. I mean, I know that we can separate it out. If you want to look at it deeper, I would suggest that you go to the internet and ask it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But the electrical charge is an electrical charge, and energy is a totally different is in a totally different realm. So the energy of, say, the sun, does that have a charge to it? What's the energy of the earth? Does that have a charge to it? Yes, there are charges on the earth, but the earth energy itself is balanced. It is a absolute necessity for human life to be able to ground, or let's say be present within